What's going on, everyone? Corina here, back with another video. Today I'll just be doing a rehash of my Gojo Satoru video that I made back in I think it was February 28th of 2022, so roughly maybe a year and 7 days after I made my channel. And it was something that was very unedited and low quality and low effort. I was just posting videos, but today I want to do a rehash and make it a lot better and describe it more. And I will actually be using a scale provided by one of my friends on Discord. I'll have a link to her TikTok in the description below, and link to her socials and everyone surrounding this inside the description down below. So as always, if you guys do enjoy, I would like you guys to subscribe, maybe leave a like, and if you'd like to, leave a comment telling me what you guys liked about the video and telling me if you have any contentions with what I say. I'm always open for a discussion, and yeah, so let's get into it. So when talking about Gojo Satoru, of all people, we have to start at what Gojo Satoru is as a whole. Gojo, when he was talking with Ishiji, with Kiyotaka Ishiji, he said, "I have a dream." As they made clear with Yuji, the higher-ups are the scum of the Jujutsu world. Selfish idiots and bloodline idiots. Proud idiots. Just plain idiots. I'm gonna reset this crappy Jujutsu world. It'd be easy to kill everyone who's in charge, but someone else would take their place. Nothing would change, and it's not as if people approve of massacres anyway. So that's why I'm turning to education. I need strong and intelligent allies. I need to foster them. As a summary, Satoru Gojo is the world's strongest sorcerer and a teacher at Tokyo Prefectural Jujutsu High. Born in one of the three great families, the Gojo clan, his immense talents and powers make him the last line of defense against curses. He meets Yuji Itadori, the current host of Ryomen Sukuna, and becomes a mentor to him as part of a bid to throw off the sorcerer's entrance system. In Versus Battle Wiki, his tiering is at least 1-C, likely far higher with purple, likely 7-A, far higher with hollow purple, even far higher with that as long as he's Black Flash Ant. The male is classified as a human sorcerer, or the strongest sorcerer in the world, or the supreme grade sorcerer. His power and abilities are limited to superhuman physical characteristics, curse manipulation, mid-level regeneration, healing, non-physical interaction, can interact with curses who are abstract manifestations born out of people's thoughts, mind, and negative emotions. He can fly with his infinity. He's skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He has enhanced senses. Sorcerers can see curse spirits that are invisible to the human eye, obviously. Energy manipulation, instinctive reaction, which is thanks to his 6 eyes. He has statistic amplification, which is amplifying their physical power by having curse energy flow through them via the negative emotions. Sleep manipulation, he can put people to sleep with a touch, as you saw with Yuji when he flicked him in the head. Now he has telekinesis, he has force field creation, spatial manipulation. Now that's a big thing we have to talk about. Spatial manipulation. So, this will actually lead into Gojo's ability known as Infinity. So, as described as Infinity is, it's more of a paradox of paradoxes in a sense. So, with Gojo's ability Infinity, as he describes it in the manga, if I can grab my image over here, give me one moment. I did not get organized before doing the video. I should have gotten organized. I should have gotten myself my examples and evidence for this video. But as stated, I'm a little unorganized right now. But as we can see with Gojo when he talks to Jogo about it, when Jogo tried to attack him, he says, and I quote, "Won't you learn?" Jogo asks, "What is the meaning of this? I touched you." He said, Gojo replies with, simply said, "You didn't hit me." Jogo replies, angered, "That's absurd. It was completely different than before. I know for a certain I touched and killed you." Gojo replies cockily, saying, "What you touched was the infinity that was between me and you." When talking with the guy with the paper bag over his head, when he was younger in his past arc, as we figure out, is that Gojo, he talks to Gojo saying, "You've got quite the technique, then why are you so weak?" He responds to him. The man replies, "How do you know my technique?" Gojo says, sorry about that. I've got good eyes. Then he goes into talking about his technique, Infinity. He says, my technique is the convergence of an infinite series. Things that approach me slow down and never reach me. By amplifying that with the limitless and negative numbers, impossible situations like making or having -1 apples are born. In doing that, I can create a magnetic-like effect than the one before. To tell the truth, it's quite difficult to use. When the male tries to attack him later on in the Gojo Past arc, he replies with, when he gets blocked, he says, what is this? Gojo replies with the Infinity. You know, from Achilles and the tortoise. The man replies with what? Gojo replies with, didn't you learn that studying is important? Now to reply this, I will be using the scale that my friend made for Gojo to define Infinity. So, we will talk about Infinity right now. So, with Infinity, for Limitless. Limitless is Gojo Satoru's true curse technique, passed down through the Gojo clan for generations. It manipulates space at the atomic level, thus is spatial manipulation level to produce impossibilities for various effects at his command. With the 6 eyes, which I'll get into in a second, Satoru can utilize this technique to its fullest potential. Now, these impossibilities varies from the manipulation of the very concepts that create our world via infinite paradoxes to the convergence and divergence of very spatial existence around him. Just by having his curse technique, he's capable of performing these things, as well as the infinite stamina gained from 6 eyes. Now, to describe 6 eyes before I go into Infinity itself, besides just Limitless. To understand all of Gojo's abilities, we have to grasp 2 concepts. The Limitless, which he had just described, and the concept behind the 6 eyes. These are both detrimental to understanding Gojo's ability any further, and I will first begin by explaining what 6 eyes is furthermore, and I will start now. 6 eyes is the unique ocular feature found only in the Gojo clan, which endows Gojo Satoru specifically with the exceptional vision and awareness. Even when wearing a blindfold, he can see his surroundings with a very, very finite and amazing detail. Additionally, it endows him with incredible mental processing power, enabling him to subconsciously execute several curse techniques simultaneously while keeping his cursed energy consumption close to basic 0. Furthermore, what's crazy is that he can relive 3 years of his past within his mind in a split second. This would equate to infinite stamina, and otherwise, as Gojo is capable of curse techniques that increase his stamina and focus, which are Black Flash, Amps, etc., as his cursed energy is set to never run out, as it is always at a consumption of basically 0. Now keep this in mind. Now we'll go into Infinity. One of the abilities that would happen to be known as Infinity, with this ability, Gojo passively creates an infinite series of infinite amounts of space based around the paradox of Achilles and the tortoise. This alone would put Gojo's ability scaling to outer versal, as it manipulates an infinite amount of infinite hierarchies of space via the infinite amount of paradoxes. Now, to understand this ability, you might want to know about the paradox of Achilles and the hair, which can be found at the top of this list. Now, to prove that all this is the case, we have the scans shown here and the statements shown. I will put these in previous editing after I get done editing this video. Here's the definition of high outer versal. High outer versal are characters who can affect and create/destroy states or realms which are completely transcendent over infinitely layered outer versal hierarchies, and any extensions thereof, as well as the framework in which such entities are defined in the first place. Note that simply adding more layers to an already infinite 1-A hierarchy for some structure of equivalent size is not enough to reach this tier, and one must be completely external and unreachable by in any form. Shown via him being able to passively manipulate an infinite hierarchies of space and dimensions via the infinite amount of paradoxes above the state of motion, this would definitely most likely put Gojo above the concept of space entirely, making Gojo -1A and high, and then let alone at that, high -1A. Also above the abstract concepts we perceive of speed, motion, etc. Now, we'll talk more about Gojo's abilities. So, with Gojo Satoru's abilities, he has actually 3. So he has Curse Technique Lapse Blue, which is Satoru, or Gojo, uses the power of attraction to draw in everything around it at a point of his choosing. He can move this point around himself to attract everything to that point. More in depth, Satoru uses the power of attraction to draw anything around a point of space in his choosing. He can move this point freely and attract everything to that point. This would be a manipulation of the convergence theorem that we see in infinite numbers. Curse Technique Reversal Red. Satoru reverses the power of blue, violently ejecting everything touching a void from the divergence of infinity with the twice of the strength of blue. This would be manipulations of the divergence theorem. Now here comes the strongest technique, and even one that's rare among the Gojo clan itself. Hollow technique, purple. Satoru will be combining blue and red, filling a void with imaginary mass to expunge everything along with its path from existence. So, this would technically be existence erasure. So, now let's get into Gojo's best ability that he's well known for. His domain expansion. Domain expansion, or unlimited void, is when Satoru expands a metaphysical territory to a particular size by utilizing an enormous amount of cursed energy, which we've supplied earlier. He takes barely any out. Inside, his opponent will experience all kinds of stimuli and exhaustive information, completely paralyzing them and eventually causing them to die from exaggeration due to all the information being put in their brain at once. Any ordinary person that is even within Gojo's domain expansion for even within the 0.2 seconds, even normal person of the skill's scope and time frame would be disabled for nearly 2 full months. Any longer than that would be fatal. Satoru estimates for the average person around that 0.2 second span is roughly equal to half a year the amount of information the brain receives over in a whole lifetime. Moreover, like most domain expansions, it will provide a 100% hit rate and a tremendous boost to every user's cursed energy. Gojo has a control over his domain expansion so precise that he is one of the only characters we know that can have his domain up for more than 0.1 seconds. So, this would logically put Gojo at Hyo-1-A, or more logically, it'd technically be High Outer Versal. He can be lowballed the Multiversal Plus, but he's mostly High Universal, or High Outer Versal, sorry. But I hope that you all did enjoy. If y'all did, subscribe. Well, I already said that at the start of the video, so I don't really need to say it here, but thank y'all for watching again, and it's Core and I out. Thanks, guys.